you know what I mean, give you the information you need to, as to what to run the building with, to make those recommendations.
Find out if there's a building engineer spec. You know, is there a job description for a building engineer? Take a building that we know runs good and see if we can't find out what they do. I don't know, you got, like Tommy said, you got Bear and you got, all these big companies that are around. Well, I know, for example, JST, I mean, in Waukegan, we have a building engineer.
Well, who's the building down in Waukegan?
And his job, anything that happens in that building, it's gotta go through him.
Who's managing that building?
Huh?
No, he is an engineer.
You think they have?
Real engineer.
His engineer is in mechanical engineering.
Okay.
So,
Can I ask,
Fusco,
do
did they
you
do
have any
this?
idea what they pay him?
Yeah, they did.
All right, so they built their own
Illinois.
building now.
Makes
Who's
about
managing it?
$65,000. That's
Well-
Waukegan, Illinois.
Does he want to come here for 80?
That's right. Low.
I mean, there's resources right here, right here in this town and the surrounding towns that we should be able to pick off of.
But the other thing is, we still have to manage the place. I mean, I have a huge problem with that. I don't think we do a good job managing it. For example, the gym floor floods, we fix it. You put the protectors on the sprinkler heads, oh yeah. All of them? Yeah. Go out there.
Probably 30 or
25 or 30 of them don't have the heads on them. So now the ball comes up, it's going to hit the thing, flood the floor, and we're going to say,
Lucky you hit the right one.
Yep.
yeah, we're going to say, I thought we did it.
Did
Wow,
we not direct that?
I thought we did it. No, he thought they did it.
Compared to other boards in other districts. I mean,
Okay.
we want to scream and yell up there.
And then you sit there and you say, you know,
That's a joke,
I don't
how it
know.
happened, but look up at the ceiling and see how many are not done.
Go play the tape back.
I'm going to tell you how it
6 months
happened.
ago, we were
It
told all the
shows-
covers were on them.
Look at the ones that are not covered.
Right.
They couldn't reach them with
And
the
they
lift
couldn't
truck.
reach them with the lift truck.
Yeah,
So that's where the project ends.
yeah.
I know.
I know.
Look, I mean, it just doesn't take a great child to figure it out. Just take a look at the ones that didn't get done.
They're in the corners.
They're in the corners.
Well, how do we allow our employees to get away with that? I mean, we're told as a board at a meeting,
Well, no, that was no
on the record,
secret.
they're all covered?
No, he told us they were all covered.
No,
he
no,
didn't.
Yes, he did.
no. He told us they were covered. He was asked, are you sure they're all covered? And that's when he told us, no, they're not all covered. The ones in the areas that they couldn't get to, didn't get covered.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either.
All right, I do.
So
I
then
do.
why didn't anybody follow up on that?
Because we were told that they were in areas that the likelihood of getting hit with the ball were just,
Or maybe it
Well,
was never.
that's the same thing with the likelihood of hitting the ball with the foam ball now. It's,
Miracle shot.
you know,
Guys,
all it takes is that one miracle shot.
what's the opinion of everybody here tonight as far as the duration of these contracts? Even if, we split them, security, maintenance, whatever. I mean, right now, this O&L contract is a 3-year contract, a 5-year contract, okay? Are we looking to continue to give whomever another 5-year
No,
contract?
I would do 3 years, I wouldn't do 5.
I'd do one.
Yeah, 1, you're right.
You know what though, I think you gotta do one with options, because 1 year might not be a long enough period of time to tell whether somebody's,
And you read
Here's what it comes down to, is if you're gonna bid out a school like this on a 1-year contract, here's what the problem's gonna be. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. Because they're gonna amortize the cost over 1 year. So if they have to invest, like O&L, one of the advantages that they've had here, because they've had the contract for so long, is they've invested in equipment. The guy driving that thing that vacuums all in one shot, that's a big cost. But if you're here for more than 1 year,
right, it's gonna
you
be-
paid, now in the second year, that's like not paying the salary.
Right.
Okay, so what you're gonna get is in order for people to do that, now they're not gonna be able to invest in those pieces of equipment, so you're gonna pay for manpower. Manpower is gonna cost you money. So I think one of the things that you has to have in a contract is, and we do have it in the ORL, terminatable, it's not a word. You could terminate on 30-day notice or what, you have to have very clear grounds under which you can terminate the contract. But you want to be able to make the person feel comfortable enough that, hey, if I perform well on this contract, I'm willing to make the investment to make it more profitable and to make the place a better place. But I can tell you that just from being in business, if I had to bid a contract that I was guaranteed nothing more than 1 year, then in order to buy those pieces of equipment, I mean, you're gonna either pay for them, or you're gonna pay for it, and then when everybody bids them, because it's not like companies have those pieces of equipment hanging around. Oh yeah, we'll ship it down to East Haven and we'll do that. But I would think that you certainly wouldn't go over 3 years, but you'd have to have very clear grounds under which you could terminate the contract.
That's the problem, because if you find a ground, and you have a $750,000 contract, what's gonna say that they're gonna disagree and then litigate us later on anyways?
Yeah, but you know what, that's why you need to require the performance bond. So that even if it works the opposite and they walk out the door, we're covered to pay for whatever price we're gonna.
So we terminated someone for what we felt was just cause, and they litigated us, the bond would cover if they
They
wanted
could
more.
litigate us, but we could also tell them that, you know, you're not allowed on the premises anymore. But then we have to get someone to replace it with, now, they could always litigate after the fact and go back after us or whoever and say, you know what, you let us go, and it was unjust, and therefore we're gonna sue you back.
Right.
But in the meantime, with that performance bond, we cover ourselves from out-of-pocket expenses. Should we have to, say we had to go out and get 3 different companies to finish the job that they couldn't do in this building, because we couldn't get one to bid on it in mid-year or whatever. That extra additional cost would be covered in the performance bond. So it would not be out-of-pocket dollars for the board.
Would that bond also cover if we were litigated and lost?
No.
So,
No.
so if
Bond only protects us.
they had a couple of years contract left at $750,000, which is now $1.5 million, and they won the litigation, what would happen?
Well, I think that the burden would be on the board or on our side to say, look, if you're gonna terminate, I would hope that you got just cause. I mean, you know, you're just not terminating the contract. In other words, we've got
You have to have a paper trail of
we've
what's.
got some blatant paper trail, documentable
But-
issues here.
But, who makes the paper trail?
Oh, that's why I said.
Who generates, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's, my point here
Because
is,
one of the problems we have now is, nobody's generating that trail now.
Oh, no, now it is.
Even if we generate
Generate
the trail, what do we get in response from the management company is a rebuttal of why it's not their fault, why they did the right thing, and so forth and so on. So it's not a terrible thing to think about the other direction.
so you're thinking it's more like a 3-year, John? Whatever we do with any.
I'm just saying, I don't think you, I just think from I bet you if you took the exact same proposal and put it out and called it a 1-year contract, you're gonna see the cost will skyrocket on it.
Sure.
But I think initially, 3 years is probably a good number.
2 with an option there.
And then,
And you gotta just, things like probation periods, and you just gotta have basic, I mean, but,
1 year.
the bottom line is,
After every year.
it's like anything else, you gotta hold somebody accountable for it. You gotta hold somebody accountable for the contract.
We won't need an attorney to do this.
Please, we don't need an attorney.
well, let me ask you, right now, our main directive is to look into getting a manager. Or
Building engineer.
A building engineer. Or look into the feasibility of getting a
I
building.
like that idea, I think.
Because like you said, we're better off starting with him and then laying on
Let
him
him
what we
give us
need to
what
do
we need.
with this contract.
And I can tell you that if you have a building manager and you're worried about things like cleaning contracts, I don't think you can do this on proposals.